going to be looking at this, which is the Neewer Battery Grip for a number of different Sony phones. I'm hoping to be a second photographer at a wedding at the end of the month, and I'm looking for something that will give me a bit more battery life without me having to keep changing. Now obviously on the A7 series cameras, the battery life is already quite good. Really the idea is just to extend that out a bit and save me having to change. So let's open the box and look at the kit and see whether or not it's something that is going to be good value for money, or something that potentially is just going to sit on the shelf like a lot of the other things I've bought in the past and not really get used. Let's do an exciting unboxing, shall we? I never really understand why people find unboxing exciting. I have a theory that the reason that they look at them is so that when they return their stuff, they know how to box it back up again. I don't know. I mean, it's a box with a thing inside the box. So inside the box, you get the actual device itself. You get, I'm going to show you this, you get a couple of batteries. There you go. Now, what I would say about this is that the charger that they come with is actually really cool. It's you get a little, and I'll try and show this. I think they're OLED displays on the charger, and it shows you can charge 2 batteries at the same time, which is super convenient, via USB-C, which again is super convenient. In order to attach this to a Sony camera, you need to remove the battery door from the base of the camera, Exhibit A. There you go. Here's one that I removed earlier. You just open the battery door, and there's a tiny little spring on the door. I might be able to show you that actually. So if you look at this, there's a tiny little spring just there, and you just pull here, and that spring mechanism lets you take the door out. And conveniently on the battery grip, it gives you an area just inside here where you can then put your battery door and store it in case, because you might want to use this for a bit and then it might get heavy during the day, and you might want to take it off, and in which case you'll be left with a camera that doesn't then have a battery cover. So this enables you to, just pop it on there, and in the same way that you took the other one off, you literally just pull down on the spring. That then clicks into place like so, and then it enables you to close it. There you go. That way you're still storing your battery door. You don't lose it. Sometimes you take stuff off your camera and then you don't know where it's gone. But that enables you to do that. Once you've charged up your batteries, and mine came with 60% battery charge, put them in. Obviously, they only have one orientation. Slide them in and then snap them down. So there you go, and then you've got them in place. Then this only goes in one way. There's some little teeth there, and then you're good to go. Then you've got a little sort of a lock mechanism that you just twist and snap that close, and there you have it. So the item itself, obviously it's made of plastic. You've got this sort of rubberized material, grip material that feels all right, to be honest. I mean, I know it's just stuck on, obviously. It's not a premium quality product, but it's so cheap, it really doesn't matter. So on the back of it, you've got a little controller, joystick. Do they still call them joysticks? Then you've got an AF on or magnifier button. So the stuff that you've got on your camera, a lot of it's replicated, so that when you change and I'll show you in a moment, when you change the orientation of the camera, you've got everything there at your fingertips. There's a wheel adjuster there. Presumably you can use that either for ISO or shutter speed, just like you would on the camera. Then you've got some custom buttons. You've got custom 1, custom 2 there. Then you've got your shutter button just there. And there's a lock on there, and that is really, really good. So what that means is you can disable that button. So when you're holding the camera normally, you don't accidentally press it, which would be a disaster if you're doing video. Photography, not so much, because you might accidentally take a picture that you don't mean to. But with videography, if you press that without knowing, you could actually stop your recording. And on Sony cameras, it's not that obvious that you're recording. You can get the red ring around the LCD, but you could easily press this by mistake and stop your recording, which could be disastrous. So I like that there's a lock there, and then you've got another wheel just there that you can use and customize. On the bottom of the device, you've obviously got was that, 1/4 inch screw thread, so you can put this onto a tripod or mount it in some other way. Yeah, and then obviously here you've got the wheel to attach it. So let's attach it to the camera and see what we get. So there you go, my camera is without its battery door. I'm just gonna slide this into position, and then, yeah, there we go. And I'm gonna just screw this down. I'll show you this as I'm doing it. And that's just gonna bring the two together. Give it a little bit of a wiggle, because it doesn't always line up perfectly. And there you have it. There is the battery grip in place. And immediately what I can tell you is it's really comfortable to hold. In fact, I would say that this is a more pleasing material to hold onto, more grippy than the actual camera, because the actual camera has got no sort of sponginess. It's not that rubberized, whereas this, it really is. So I feel more confident holding it like this. It feels all right. Yeah, it feels good. Gives you more to grip hold of as well. Like if you've got big hands like me, you may not have big hands, but my hand's quite large, then it makes it much easier to hold it. Also, what I'd say is it matches up pretty well and it lines up pretty well. It's not perfect, you can probably see that. There's a little bit of a gap, but generally speaking, I think that's fairly decent. It looks good. So let's turn the camera on, see what we get. So when you turn the camera on, because it comes with two batteries, you get this warning. Can you see this? Do you want to continue? Do you want to take the risk? I mean, it's a bit dumb. They just don't want you to use third-party batteries and use the Sony batteries, which is completely understandable. But what you get is once you tell them that you're happy to use non-Sony batteries, you'll discover that they stop telling you how much power's left in them, which is a bit mean if you ask me, but you know, it is what it is. But you can actually put any batteries in here. So I put the original. I've got 3 original Sony batteries. You can put Sony batteries in here, and if you do that, you do get the percentages displayed, which is obviously very helpful. I think I'm on the fence when it comes to batteries. I know a lot of people would say only buy Sony, and I think I generally agree with that. But you can't argue with the price difference, and if you can get the same duration of time out of a non-Sony battery than a Sony battery, then actually for half the price, then I'm happy to put up with not seeing the percentage and sort of guessing, because the bottom line is you've got 2 batteries, so when one is exhausted, the other one will take over, and you're aware of it in advance in any case. Weight wise, it does add it adds a bit of weight to the camera. I mean, I am sporting a 35mm Sigma 1.4 art lens, which is quite a heavy lens anyway, but it's a weight you have to accept. Like if you're going to add a battery grip and a battery to your camera, you're going to add weight to it, but you're also going to enable yourself to be able to shoot for much longer, and hopefully will make your workflow a bit easier for the day as a photographer. I think it's, for the money, it's very good, and I think considering that it's probably a fraction of the cost of the genuine Sony battery grip. Let me look that up. So the Neewer battery grip with 2 batteries comes in at £148 minus 10% voucher at the moment, and the Sony equivalent is £400. So, you know, why would you do that? I don't understand why you do that unless you're a proper Sony fanboy. Why would you spend 3 or 4 times the money on something that effectively is just powering your camera? So yeah, I'm quite impressed with it. I was worried that it wasn't going to fit and wasn't going to sort of match up. I think it does. I think it obviously does a good job. Only time will tell with the batteries whether or not they're going to last the same sort of duration, but I don't see why they wouldn't. They seem pretty good. It comes in a nice pretty blue box which you can throw in the bin. So yeah, jury's out. But yeah, if you're looking for a battery grip, then actually I don't think you can really go wrong with this Neewer one. So I'll let you know how I get on with the wedding and whether it lasts, and I'll put some links down below if you're interested in getting a battery grip for your Sony camera, at least for the A7 IV and some of the other A series cameras, then I think this looks all right. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, And let me know what you think if you've got one of these battery grips or a different one. How have you got on with it? Have you found that it's been useful? Have you found the extra weight has made shooting like for example, a wedding all day, has that made it really uncomfortable for you and your sort of back and your processes? Or have you found it to be super helpful? Let me know. And as usual, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.